Hello, I'm famous cartoonist Art Baltazar. Beginning 2023, my comic books are going monthly, or pretty close to it. That's right, a new comic book every month. How am I doing this? Well, first, I found a low print run printer. Second, I teamed up with Comic Tom 101. Third, Tommy teamed up with Comic Books for Kids, a charity that donates comics to kids in hospitals. Several months throughout the year, subscribers to the Comic Tom mail call will receive one of my books in their boxes. All other months, I will be self-publishing comics to fill in the monthly gaps to keep my books new and fresh and awesome. New comics, classic comics, cool comics, all kinds of stuff. If you don't subscribe to the mystery mail call, no worries. My books will be available on my website, electricmilkcomics.com, and of course at all three of our Oh Yeah Comic Shop locations. And also when you meet me at a convention appearance or an art signing or something like that. I can't wait to get started. Actually, I already began. Oh yeah, you guys are awesome. Okay, bye-bye.
Art. Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. Famous cartoonist says things. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Famous cartoonist draws things. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Famous cartoonist paints things. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Famous cartoonist Art Baltazar.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh man, freaking! It's so awesome hearing Rand. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's right. Sung by OOKLA the MOK's very own Rand Bellavia.
That's right.
He had a Kickstarter for his album, and
right.
that was one of the perks. So I sent him some money and said, "Hey man, can you make a song?" He said, "Of course," and that was it. So that's pretty cool.
Man, that rocks. That rocks. I need a jingle now.
That's right.
I gotta get my own jingle, man.
That's right.
I'm jingleless.
Welcome everyone to Famous Cartoonist Says Things. I'm Art Baltazar, famous cartoonist. This guy right here is my good friend, Tomas Garcia. He is the drummer for OOKLA the MOK. He is the king of comic book mailing. You mail a lot of comics as comic pops.
That's right.
And you do podcasts, you do all kinds of things, man.
Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, sir.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, man. I really appreciate it. Being down to come on your show, and we've known each other for a bit, and
about 20 years, maybe.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. It's been a bit. I remember I met you. I went to Buffalo with my wife to hang out with Adam. We were doing some sort of event with him, and we got to go on Lake on the river or something. We didn't go on a boat or something.
Yeah. I was up there for
Erie Canal. We were like
on
the Erie Canal.
We were on the lake or in the canal in the dark.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was a nighttime.
Yeah, we went ended up like docking right next to a bar or something. I barely remember that. I remember karaokeing at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. It was amazing.
And I remember the guy whose house it was. I remember him just going to bed and just I remember that. And I'm like, who? I didn't even know the guy. He didn't know me. I was in his house. eating his food. We ordered a bunch of food. That was so cool, man. And that was the first time I got to sing with you guys. With
That's
OOKLA the
right.
MOK, like just goofing off and just
I have
screaming.
videos of that, by the way.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I
I gotta
remember
dig him out. I gotta dig him out.
that was like when we really got to know each other, right?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
So I
It
know
was great.
I met the other two guys, Adam and Rand. I met them in Pittsburgh one time, I think in like '98 or '99, and then I met you after. But I
Right.
know you from the albums, and I saw you on that Kmart Less Than Art album.
Less than art.
You had all your long hair, looking like Nirvana
Dude,
and
I
stuff.
miss that hair, dude. You have no idea. No, I every like 5 years, I'm like, you know what? I miss my long hair. Let's grow out the hair. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm freaking old.
Yeah,
My hair is completely different now. I have
yeah.
gray hair, which is like all wiry and just weird looking. I'm
It
like, oh
doesn't get
yeah, yeah.
soft now. Yeah, I do the same thing. I got curls coming out now. You might see them coming out the back, but they grow like my hair ends up looking like Larry from the Three Stooges. It gets really thick on the side, but
Sure,
the
sure.
top doesn't get big anymore. It grows. There's some up there, but it doesn't get as big as the
It
sides.
just goes sideways.
Yeah, like Bozo
Yeah.
the Clown. So
Of course.
so it looks good with hats, but I
Yeah.
might have to shave it soon too. But like,
Uh, I don't know about shaving it, but I cut it. I had it pretty long. I let the top grow out, and
yeah,
I'm like, it just didn't work. So I'm done.
yeah,
I'm hoping
yeah.
then that was it, and I'm not gonna try and grow it again because I it was pretty bad.
But
And
our hair has to live through our children.
yeah,
My
I
son
miss
has
it.
a big hair, giant head of hair.
Yeah, we just have to make peace with the fact that we're old.
Yeah,
We're not gonna get that again.
yeah, we
Probably.
got. Yeah, it's sad, depressing, but there's more time behind us than there is ahead.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Art.
And I'm talking about maybe like
God.
2 weeks. No, I don't know. No, man, I got a lot. I don't know, man. I don't know how to do it. I just go to sleep when I'm tired. I wake up when I'm done sleeping, and I
Yeah.
think that's the way to do it.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, man. Just
Yeah.
my uncle told me just a few weeks ago that every day he wakes up, he's happy.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, no, man.
Well, I have a really, for me, I consider it it was a blessing growing up. I grew up in a very poor. We were really,
Oh
really
yeah,
like not even like U.S. poor. Where I was in Puerto Rico in the 70s, and my parents didn't have anything. Um,
wow.
and but I tell you one thing, man. I don't remember my childhood is all good. Anything and everything I remember from my childhood is just beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
amazing, and I have a great respect and a great. I'm very grateful for being able to know what it is to not have anything, but still be happy, and that still impacts me today. I'm like, it doesn't matter how bad
Right.
things get. I'm like, look, I know for a fact that all of this will pass, and I've been worse. And I was worse, and I was the happiest I've ever been. So just chill. It's
Yeah.
okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
When you're poor, when you're a little kid and you're poor, you don't know you're poor. You just that's
Exactly.
just the way
I
that's
don't
just the
know.
way everything is every day. Mom's always cooking something,
Yeah.
and dad's never home because he's working.
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
just how it goes. And
Yeah.
then when you become a dad, now I'm always working, and it's like I work at home, but I'm always working. See,
Yeah.
my wife, she's never home, and the
Yeah.
kids are seeing that now because now they have jobs, and they're starting to
Wow.
they're starting to realize how much stuff costs
Yeah.
when they want to go to. My daughter went to Chick-fil-A yesterday with her friends, and she has her own money, and she came back and says, "Dad, Chick-fil-A's expensive." Like, told you
Yeah.
guys.
No
Now,
kidding.
now when you say, "What do you want for dinner?" Can we get Chick-fil-A? Like, man, come on.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like
I
80
know.
bucks to feed the family.
Yeah. I remember getting um I had jobs, but this is the first job on the books that I had, and it was on some factory making folders. And I
Oh
got
yeah.
paid for the first week that I worked there, and I got like $74 for the week that I
Wow.
dude, I made $3 an hour, I think it was, something like that, or 250 an hour.
Yeah.
That's how long ago it was. And I remember I'm rich, man. I have so much money. And I remember leaving, like cashing my check, went out to the Main Place Mall there in Buffalo and bought a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and then I realized, oh, I should probably get my girlfriend something. And then I had $2 left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what just happened?
Where's my money?
I had so much money like 2 hours ago. And now I'm
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, it's freaking
Yeah,
I've
my
really
first job, I got 450 an hour, and I was
uh
working at White Castle. And my very
White
first
Castle.
paycheck, yeah, I got $147 in my first paycheck, and I called up Kenner, and they still had the Star Wars figures. They had the last 17 Star Wars figures in stock, and I ordered them over the phone for $4 a piece. And I was about, I think I was 17.
What?
Yeah, and that had to be in like 80, 85 or 86, maybe 86. So
Oh
that's what
my
I did with my
God,
first
dude.
paycheck. And I wrote out a check
I
and
think you
mailed it
did
to
okay. I
yeah,
think you did okay. If you
yeah,
still have it, you did okay.
yeah. I have all those guys. I played with them and lost some of the
Yeah,
guns.
I don't have
I
my
got
jeans. I don't even know what those jeans are.
that's right. I still got my Luke and the Poncho over there.
But yeah, it's wild, man. Life is, being this um adult, like nobody tells you.
Yeah,
Because I don't know if you remember, people our age when we were growing up, they were ancient. They might as well be half dead. Like you met a
yeah,
50-year-old, you're like, that guy. My parents, like to me, they were such, granted they were old. I was adopted. They took me when I was 2.
oh,
And
right
to
on.
me, they were always whatever in their 70s in my head. And no,
Yeah,
they were like in their 40s and 50s when I grew up. Um, and Now that it's hitting me, but I don't feel that old. I still feel same way I did back then, except
yeah,
in this freaking
yeah.
fat vehicle.
To me, it feels like fifth grade just continuing. It's still the
Yeah.
same. It's just the next day since fifth grade. Like
Um,
it's just the same. And
yeah,
like
it's all the
I
same.
like when all my aunts and uncles reached 60 and 65, they would retire. They felt real old. But I'm almost
Yeah.
there, man. I'm like 6 years away from
Isn't that
60.
crazy?
It's like I remember
Jeez, dude.
I remember when I told my parents I was gonna get married uh 20 years ago or so. And they said, are you crazy? Why? And I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna be 40 in like 7 years.
What are you?
Just let me it's
I gotta do
okay.
something, man.
Yeah, that's okay. Let me just do this. Let me take the leap and let me do it. And it was funny. And now it's like the same thing. Like uh it's like we're at the point we could do you kind of could do what you want. It's too late to like go back to school and try to like, oh, maybe I'll be an accountant now, or maybe I'll do this or dentist.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't. I can't play baseball. Maybe I'll go join the major leagues. I
That
can't.
was
Maybe
yeah.
I can maybe serve hot dogs, maybe or popcorn, but that's about it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's like I took some classes when I lived in Puerto Rico, and we did, I guess it's what you consider shop, and we had to do architectural drafting stuff, and I loved it. I mean, it's very basic stuff, just drawing lines and just being on that big table with the rulers and
Yeah.
pencils and stuff. And dude, I fell in love with it. I'm like, and
Yeah,
I
that's
did
cool.
really well. And I was horrible ADHD, which I didn't realize. Nobody knew. They just thought I was nuts. Um,
Yeah, that's just that weird kid. That's all
yeah,
that is.
I was just that weird kid.
Yeah.
I couldn't sit still. Still to this day, I have to deal with that. But back then when I was a kid, I'm like freaking. I hated school. I never read a book till I was
Wow.
like 19.
Wow, you were just telling me you read a lot now. Read
Yeah,
a
oh,
lot of
I
books.
did, dude. I went. I remember it was Journey to the Center of the Earth, and I picked it up. A friend of mine had it in their house, and I just stole it and brought it home with me. Not steal it, but
Yeah,
grabbed
borrowed.
it and borrowed it without
Borrowed.
them knowing. Yeah. So I grabbed it, dude, and I read that thing over a weekend. And granted, English is my second language. So
Yeah.
So 19, I am 4 years after I came to the States. So I'm just starting to be fluent in English at
Yeah.
this point. And I read Journey to the Center of the Earth, and dude, I am there. I am
Hmm.
under the ground in the darkness while this kid is running headlong in because he's so scared, blah blah blah. Dude, I was in it and I closed that book, and my first reaction, I was so pissed. I was so angry at myself that I spent 19 years of my life not reading. I'm like, why didn't I
Wow.
do this? I should have, because there's all these times when I would be like fishing when I was a
Yeah.
kid and just sitting there doing nothing, staring at a wall or whatever, being bored.
Hmm.
That happened to me so much when I was a kid. I was just so bored, and I could have read. And anyway, so I
Yeah.
immediately in Buffalo, I would start going to garage sales, and I would buy any cheap paperback that I could find, and I found Stephen King, and
Oh, cool.
then oh my God, I read everything he's ever written, and I
Yeah.
fell in love with it. Dark Tower, probably my favorite um, book series of all time, and it's my favorite. I've read it. I don't know if you have you read Dark Tower?
I haven't. I don't read that much. I read
Oh,
comics, but I've read.
it's in a comic form.
Yeah, I read some of them early on. I would read a lot when I was in college. I'd read on the bus all the time. So I read a few vampire books. I
Yeah,
Vampire, remember that? I read a lot of the Star Wars novels, but I'd
sure,
always read stuff that I'm familiar with. But and I read I liked all of the like Zora Neale Hurston. She's a
sure,
black author, but she writes a lot of stuff from the Civil War times. I
sure.
liked all that stuff. I read a lot of stuff like textbook college kind of fiction stories, but I haven't read in a long time. Yeah,
Excuse me.
it's because
Yeah,
been working, I've been drawing, been writing.
yeah.
You know?
I don't read as much as I used to, but
Yeah.
I listen to books on tape. That
Oh
was
yeah.
that probably early 90s, mid 90s.
Yeah.
I found books on tape, and it changed my life because I used to be a caseworker. I worked for UCPA of Western New York, United Cerebral Palsy, and we
Hmm.
used to work with clients. We used to have to do a lot of driving. Then I became a case manager, so I was on my car constantly, and I would have a little box of freaking of 20 CDs with my book that I'm listening to. I would have three or four because I didn't want to run out of audiobook in the middle of something. So I always had like three books with me, always one going, always headphones
That's
when
cool.
back when headphones sucked. Um, so I just loved it, man. And like I said, um, it just made it so that I could read that much more. And a lot of the things that I've read was through audiobook. And but I was they had a audiobook trading post in San Jose. So if you brought I don't know if you remember, man, but audiobooks were like $70 a piece.
Wow.
It's like between 45 and $70 a piece, depending on the book. If you have like a giant Stephen King book,
Yeah.
it's like 60, $70 for an audiobook. So
Wow.
they're super back then. Now they're cheaper, but back then they were super expensive. So I don't know if you remember Hollywood Video, I think it was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
They used to they used to rent audiobooks. I
Oh,
never rented
cool.
from them, but when they went out of business, they had giant stacks of audiobooks that they would have for nothing, like super cheap because nobody wanted to buy them. And I hit every freaking store in the Bay
Yeah.
Area, bought all their freaking audiobooks, then went to a audiobook trading post, and you would take your audiobooks, they give you credit, and then you can buy audiobooks and take them with you. So I had like
Oh wow.
hundreds, and they give you what it's worth. So I bought it for $5, but
Yeah.
this book is actually worth $40, so I have $40 worth of credit. So I had thousands of dollars worth of credit in this place. I just came home with a bunch of audiobooks. Anyway,
That's like a whole bunch of podcasts waiting to go, you know?
oh my God.
Just sit
Yeah.
there and listen. Yeah.
So that's what I used to do till podcasts. Yeah.
Wow,
Then
that's cool.
Yeah. Now I'm huge into true crime podcasts for some reason. I
Wow.
love them. Yeah, I can't get enough of that stuff.
So do you like the scripted podcast? Because that's something that happens too. Like it's kind of like
Not
an
really.
audiobook. Yeah.
Not really. I like live stuff. I was
Yeah, me too.
huge into the Joe Rogan podcast, but back in
Oh
the
yeah.
day when they were just messing around, and
Yeah.
I realized that I have a comedian's mind. Which I didn't realize. I'm
Uh-huh.
always, and there's one of the things that made me a good part of UCLA was that the three of us were really, I mean, I don't want to call myself very funny person,
I
but
think you are.
definitely Adam and Rand are. And
Yeah.
I want to be like them. And it's just I try to be funny. It's always my mode. I am looking to make you piss your pants.
Yeah.
That's my goal always in any conversation. I'm gonna make you laugh somehow. I'm gonna find the way. I might say something messed up. I don't know. But anyway, that's how my brain works. And if I make you laugh, my head is already going. It's like, what can I say?
Way to keep it going.
Yeah, to keep it
Yeah.
going, to make you laugh even further.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's how my brain works,
Yeah,
and
man.
it worked. So when I play with UKLA live and stuff, it's the three of us just just the way we think meshed together really well to make our live shows really entertaining, and people loved it.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Uh,
Yeah, like so.
well,
Wait, you came here in the U.S. when you're a teenager,
I was 14.
14, and when did
14.
you meet Ukla and all that stuff? How'd you become
So
yeah
I
a
I
drummer?
got to this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, that's all right.
I so I got to Buffalo when I was 14 on the summer of 85. So I turned 15 in Buffalo, and I would say I didn't meet Adam till I was 19 or 20 when I worked at that place, UCPA of Western New York,
Yeah.
and we worked at the same home. There's a messed up story that I probably don't want to tell you
Yeah.
um, on this format. The reason why, but something really bad happened in the house um,
Were there
where
ghosts?
we ended up working. Yeah, which
Really?
made it so that there was an opening in the house, and because of this horrible thing that happened, they made two positions open in that house, and one was given to me, and the other one was given to Adam.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so that's how we met because we came in the house after that horrible incident, and we became really close. We connected because we both had really long hair, and Adam commented on my hair, something about girls or something, and I'm like, oh. So we immediately became really good friends, and he gave me. I don't know if you or people watching know, but our my old band, how they started it was that they made this tape. It was called the Ran and Adam tape, and they
Yeah.
had 16 songs. And so Adam tells me, he's like, "Hey, we recorded this music. I want to get your input on it and see what you think about it." He doesn't know me as Luis the drummer or anything. It's just I am his friend, and he's
Mhm.
showing me his music that he wants, my opinion on. So he shows it to me. I take it home, and that weekend I was off all weekend, and I listened to that tape over and over and over and over again all weekend long. Like immediately after I started listening to it, I'm like, I love this. And it is, you know what it is. It's
Yeah.
such dorky music, and
Uh-huh.
it's all based on lyrics. It has nothing to do with music. As you know, I suck at freaking, I'm not a really good drummer, but it's not about that. It's about everything around it. Um,
Oh, you're a good
and I,
drummer.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you. But I suck. I never, and it doesn't matter. But so I listened to this, and immediately, as soon as I started listening to it, I immediately fall in love with it. And because of the way that I learned how to play drums, we were, like I said, we were really poor, so I can never own a drum set. But when I was a kid, my parents sent me to a music school. There's like free music school, and they taught me how to play drums. But I only went to like two sessions because they had me this hockey puck, to play on. And I'm like, dude, what do you want this crap for? I want to play drums. I don't want to. What is this? And I'm like, screw you, man. I don't want to. I ain't doing that. But I have my sticks, so I would hit things, blah blah blah. And because I couldn't play drums, I played drums in my head. So whenever, to this day, whenever I listen to the song, there's a tiny me in my head going, okay, this is how it goes. This is okay. And I break it down in my head. So I listen to the Ran and Adam tape, and there's a little me going, oh my God, this it should go here. This drum should go here, blah, blah, blah. So I listen to it, go back to work that next week. And Adam asked me, he's like, hey, what do you think? It's like, dude, I loved it. But I didn't say anything until I got rid of my old drums. Somebody gave me my very first set of drums, where like this really crappy set, but it's how I learned. So I wanted to buy a new set. I sold my old set to a friend, and I went and bought a new set. I go to this guy's house, buy the drum set, put it in my car, drive to Adams, and I go up to Adams. I ring the doorbell a million times. That's how I would do it. That's how he knew it was me. Because I'm like freaking ringing the doorbell. He's like, all right. He comes downstairs. He's like, he doesn't know I'm coming. He's like, hey, Luis, what's going on? I'm like, hey, would you help me? I got to grab this, bring it into your house. He's like, what? It's my drums. I got new drums. I want to show you my new drums. So I'm like, come on, let's get it. And he's like, okay. You know, Adam, he's like, he's not going to argue with me about it. He's like, okay, we'll figure it out. So he helps me. He doesn't know why I'm doing this. So I bring the drums upstairs. I put them in his living room, and I do it brand new. I got this. I got such a great deal. Let me put it together. I put it together, and I sit behind it. I'm like, okay, play your tape. Not play your tape. Play the songs from your tape, top to bottom. Let's go. Go, start.
Oh,
and
cool.
he's like, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. When I misspoke. When he showed me the tape and I talked to him for the first time after listening to the tape, I told him I loved it and I want to be their drummer. I'm like, I love this, but you need drums, and I'm going to be your drummer. And Adam's like, thank you, but no, we don't need no drummer. And I'm like, okay, you're wrong, but that's fine. And what really irked me was that he got our other friend Tomas to play drums for him, and he's never played in his life. Man. I love Tomas, but he couldn't play to save his life. And and he had my old drums. So that old drums that I sold, he's playing with that. He did one gig, and they realized, oh yeah, we can't do this. So anyway, I come, bring the drums up to his living room. I start playing. It's like, go, dude. Rats Live on No Evil Star. Come on, let's go. And he's like, oh, okay. Starts playing, and I'm like, freaking have it. I have arranged every song in that Ran and Adam tape. Wow. And after like the third one, I'm like, okay, freaking Three Monkeys, go. Freaking, and I have the reason Three Monkeys sound the way it does is because it's my input, and it should have been harder. And if you talk to Adam, they'll tell you that should have been a harder song. I think Doug talked him into putting Three Monkeys with acoustic guitars when it should be. It's their most punk song they have, and they used acoustic guitar. If I would have been in the room, that would have been so hard.
Heavy.
Anyway, but it was me.
That's a good album, though. Yeah.
I know. After the third song, he's like, "Okay, fine, you're our drummer, dude. Jesus, stop it. There's freaking, you're the drummer." And from then on, the fact that I could sing. And I can sing and play drums at the same time, which is a fairly hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And I could do it. Granted, I have to practice quite a bit to be able to do that. And it has to be more simple drum parts. I can't be doing drum rolls and stuff and still sing with the same manner. So anyway, and that's how I became their drummer.
Wow.
Yeah. I bullied my way into the band.
Look, here they are. Here's the group. Here's the
That's
guys.
Right. Ciao.
There they are.
Dude, I love that.
Right there. There's Louis.
Yeah. A Chapulín.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah. And that was a great concert, dude. To this day.
Yeah.
One of my favorite times, other than that whole weekend is filled with really awesome moments. One, probably the number one, is the fact that Tommy got to play Tommy
Yeah.
uh, on stage. So one thing you probably don't know, I didn't know. So I knew that he was going to play during Tommy, and I knew he was going to do the solo, but I didn't know he was going to do the OOKLA rap in Tommy.
Oh,
So because he's actually in at the concert, he starts going crap, crap,
yeah.
curse, crap,
Yeah.
and dude, so I'm playing, and if I was, it was like a shot of me because my mouth just drops up and I'm playing, and it's just me because that part is just the drums and the vocals, and I'm like playing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna start crying
Hmm.
here on stage. I'm playing with my boy, and
That's
it was
cool.
so surreal. Probably one of my favorite music things ever. Another thing was
That's cool.
talking to you, and you told us a storyline.
About
I don't want to say
Superman.
what it was, but
Yeah, it was
it was
Superman. Yeah, it's already gone.
super.
It's already
Okay,
done.
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
moved
want to say
on.
anything, but dude, I was like crying by the.
Yeah,
But at least we're all listening to you. What, and then what happens? And you
yeah,
told us the whole thing, and I'm crying at the end of it. We're drunk.
yeah,
Lyle's over
yeah.
there passed out.
Four
Oh
in the
my god,
morning. Yeah,
it was
that
awesome.
was a. I told you my whole plans, and unfortunately, the series ended with number 12. But it was gonna pick
Uh,
up, man, and go. It was gonna go into like more issues because at the time DC Comics asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, "Give me 50 issues," and they're like, "All right, we'll see." And then, but it ended at 12.
they
But
just
all the stuff I was telling you, man, we had, yeah, it was emotional, and I
yeah,
explained to you how Superman, what he is and what he means, and how do you defeat him, and he's not all powerful like people think, you know.
yeah.
So man, it was cool. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good time, man. And that was the first night where I realized that Tommy was Tommy from the song. Like, and
No.
I never made the connection. I'm like, wait, you're Tommy. I was talking to my friend Tommy. You're the Power Ranger kid. And he went, yeah. And I went, I never knew that.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
Tommy, an actual thing.
yeah, so that's when I made the connection. Like, man, this is weird. Now you're playing, and when you guys were rehearsing, like, man, now you're playing the song. And he was just kept looking at me laughing. And
I know.
I remember I always watched his videos because he's been doing this for a while. And I
For a
remember
bit.
for a while when he started that. And that night might have been the birth of Tommy Comic Tom, because he approached me and he wanted to open up an All Yeah Comics in Portland. Remember that?
That's right. Yeah.
And I said, that's a great idea, but we have to like, I got to talk to my guys and Franco and Brother Bear, and we got to talk and we got to get you in. If you're real serious, we could probably make it happen. And then we were talking for a little bit, but his ideas evolved into what he's doing now.
Oh yeah.
And because he wanted to get a store, and he told me, he goes, I'll wear a vest and a tie every day,
I
sir.
know.
That's what he told me.
I
I'm like,
remember.
you
Yeah,
could.
I
I said,
remember.
I'll fly out there. I'll paint the store. I'll paint the action cat on the walls.
We
So
would make it the uniform to just be dressed up.
yeah,
That's
just
the
dressed
thing.
up with the
Yeah.
tie. Yeah,
Yeah.
ties and cool hats. But I remember that was where a lot of this stuff started. And that was, and what year was that? I got the date on this. Says
20.
2017 on this album,
I
but I
think
don't
it's
know. It might have
16.
been
It was
before then.
2016 because this
Yeah,
came out a year later after the.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I got credits for blowing air into into Rand's.
Oh, that's right. You got on stage with us, didn't
He
you?
got the air piano, the air keyboards.
What was
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Was
It was
it
for
Octopus or was it?
oh man, I don't even remember. I don't
I
know
don't
what
remember
song it
either.
was.
I remember you
Um,
coming up. Yeah, that was, man, what a great weekend. I gotta
yeah,
tell you, man, that WindyCon,
yeah,
probably one of my favorite conventions I'd been up to that point. I like that they have free booze, which nobody
yeah.
does.
Right.
No convention does. And also, by the way, East Coast conventions, night and day from West Coast conventions. And I was in the East Coast for all of the 90s and
Yeah,
doing OOKLA thing. So I already know what that is, right? And
yeah,
we come to the West Coast and
yeah,
we do filk is what the type of music
yeah.
that we
Mhm.
do. And in the East Coast, there'll be like booze. There'll be like bottles of booze of
Hmm.
Tully's in the middle of the room, and you do a shot, and it goes around, and it's really really awesome camaraderie. And so I go to the West Coast, and I'm walking around with my bottle of booze. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it in front of everybody's like,
Yeah, yeah,
do
excuse
you
me.
mind putting that away? I'm like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? It's like, yeah, we don't like
Open
people. I'm
bottle.
like,
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
This is filk, right? This is
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Of course we're gonna drink. I'll stay home. But what are you
Yeah.
talking about? Um, and so it's a little different. Also in the East Coast, you stay up all night doing stuff. Over
Yeah.
here by 7 o'clock, everything's done. You go figure out what you're gonna do.
And the WindyCon was Chicago, so that's like mid coast. I don't know.
Uh,
And
yeah, but that line, whatever that line
yeah,
is,
yeah.
it's better.
And the funny thing about what I learned about WindyCon was I don't even remember there being a convention. I don't know where it was. Like
True.
it was scattered throughout the whole hotel. It had all these different rooms. So we had our artist room. They gave me a table and I set up things. And but most of it is a convention where you just hang out with your friends all weekend and just have a party. And that's all it was. Like I don't know if
So much
I don't
fun.
remember if I went to sleep. I know I brought my wife and kids were there, but we were all doing our own thing. And man, it was really fun. I don't know if they did any since then, but,
Well, that was the
but I
thing.
think so.
Adam went the very next year for the
Yeah,
release of the album.
yeah,
And I wanted to go because I thought, oh, of course, we're gonna kill it. We're gonna release
yeah.
that live album. Um, and um,
There
and
it
it
is.
didn't
Got it.
work. Yeah, that one. Thank you. I
Yeah,
have it, but it's all the way over there.
yeah.
Oh yeah, here it
I
is.
was just listening. There
Oh,
they
okay.
are. They're the guys on stage.
Wow,
That's cool,
that
right?
was so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. The one thing I didn't care for was that I had to play electric drums.
Oh, I
Um,
remember that.
yeah, I
You
don't.
had a small set. That
Yeah,
was
and I didn't think of it. If you look at that picture, you
mm,
can see. Look at nobody should be able to see your legs like
right
that
here.
on your
There it
playing
is.
drums. See
Yeah.
how you see
Little red
my
jacket.
legs out, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It just looks weird because you don't see that with real drums because there's a
Yeah.
big bass drum and there's other stuff.
Look like you're
And
doing your taxes. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I'm like just sitting at a desk or something. I don't know. I can't stand electric. Although, having said that, that particular electric drum set worked out better than I thought it would. Um, and I'm still, because of that, I'm open to possibly getting one just to
Yeah.
practice on because I can do it quietly. Right now, I have a drum set. It's in the middle of our dining room, and I can't play it because my wife does calls and stuff, and I
Yeah.
just can't do it.
Oh
But
yeah. You gotta wait for everyone to go to sleep. Play at night
yeah.
when you got time. You know.
Well, it's just me. It's just my wife and I now. So all our
Oh,
kids are gone.
oh,
Um,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you, thank you.
Mine are all
Yeah,
here. Everyone's home.
yeah.
But
So
that's cool. I saw that drum set and I thought, man, that's the way. That's a good way to travel. When you can bring
yeah,
your drums with you. Yeah.
that's quite. It's still quite a bit. I actually, if you ever get a chance to look up Cocktail, I think it's called Cocktail Drum Set,
Yeah.
and it's a one tube, and it has the snare on top, but on the bottom is the bass drum, and then
Oh,
it's
cool.
all together, and it has a hi hat connected to it, so and it's super small, so you can carry it with you
Oh, nice.
for gigs and stuff. But they're more expensive than regular drums.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I got these right here. I got these little bongos.
love that stuff. Yeah. That's what I grew up. Whenever um any music that I was exposed to or played as a kid was all
Yeah.
bongos, timbales, or congas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So what happened the following year when Adam went?
um,
Did he wasn't
he
as
was
fun, right?
he was
No.
not, yeah, because I wasn't there.
Yeah. None of us were.
Yeah, so he didn't come out as he wanted it to. He was very disappointed
Yeah.
with it. But I mean, I had literally nothing. I had nothing to do with it, and I wish I had been there, but it was all different. Rand wasn't
Yeah.
there. I wasn't there. None of our friends were there, and it just didn't. It was But I want to go back because I didn't get to go to Chicago at all. I was just
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
at
We're
the
just
con.
in that suburb hotel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
but I'm
know
hoping.
that Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm hoping to come back soon.
Yeah,
Chicago.
I know that Adam and Rand came to Naperville a few times. There was another hotel, and they would just call me and say, "Hey, if you're around, just show up." And at nighttime, they go to the different rooms with their guitars and stuff and just sing. So I
Yeah.
did that a few times with them. That was
It's a
real
lot
fun.
of fun, man.
Yeah, man,
I
you just act goofy and stuff. It was cool.
It was great. I love it, man. It's one of the things I miss about music, is playing live. It's just there's nothing better to me. Is my literally my favorite thing to do. Just play in some dingy bar.
Yeah,
Nobody knows you. They give you open bar or whatever, and you just play. Have 3, 4 sets. Get all
yeah.
sweaty and drunk, and it's the best. It's the
We got to
best.
do
Nothing
that,
like
man.
it. Yeah, yeah,
I've
I
been,
know. We got it.
yeah, I've been,
Yeah.
I've been, I've been dabbling with hurting music. I've been recording, like you heard me play drums on that
Yeah,
Gogs video.
absolutely.
I got a SoundCloud now with like 4 songs on it.
No kidding. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
but I'm not near new OOKLA status. It's just me goofing off.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, I'm getting ready here because I gotta go. We're going to New York, which is I was gonna tell you about it.
Yeah, man.
It's weird. So being raised in Puerto Rico, like I was telling you, so my parents adopted me. It's my great aunt. So it's my aunt. She's my grandmother's sister from my father's side, who raised me since I was 2 years old. But I never met my mother.
Oh,
Yeah. So or any of her family. So I
so
have
your
there's
so
like
your own family adopted you. Your
yeah,
own
right,
like another.
right.
Yeah.
My
Okay, gotcha.
dad's side of the family took care of me,
Oh, I see.
but they hid me from my mom's side. Not that they
Oh,
were actively really looking for me. But if they tried or they did, they couldn't find me because I was on the other
yeah.
side of the island. I was in nowhere, and I was told that my mother was told that I was raised in Spain and I had to change my name.
Oh,
Um,
you're like a
so
secret baby.
right, exactly. So I've been looking for my mom for the longest time,
Oh,
and actively for the last 10, 15 years, 10, 13 years, especially since social media came out.
yeah,
I'm like, this is the chance for me to find my mom, and I may have siblings. I don't know.
yeah.
So I looked and looked and looked. I freaking did ancestry.com for years. I scoured, and one of the things is that my great aunt who raised me, she is one of 21 kids.
Whoa,
She had 20 brothers and sisters.
holy cow.
So when I go to ancestry and he's like, "Hey, you have a hit," I quickly learn not to get too excited because
Yeah.
half the island apparently is related to me.
Plus,
I
the name
couldn't,
Garcia is very common, in
right,
the Hispanic. Yeah.
and Luis,
And
just
Luis,
not
Luis
and,
Garcia.
right. Luis Garcia is like John Smith.
Yeah.
So the not only that, in my Garcia's part of my family,
Yeah.
I would go visit him sometimes over the Christmas. We're all guys and we're all named Luis. So
Yeah.
we're all Luis Garcia. There'd be like 20 guys in a room, and
Mhm.
every single one of us is named Luis Garcia,
Luis.
except
Hello,
we
Luis.
all,
Luis.
yeah,
Luis.
Luis, Luis,
Luis.
Luis,
Luis. Luis. Luis.
Luis,
Luis.
Luis. So
Coffee
yeah,
for Luis. Oh,
yeah.
that's me.
No, no, actually, except for our middle names, we all have different middle names, and
Yeah.
then you get a nickname off of your middle name. So anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but I got a hit. September, October, and she might be watching.
Oh, cool.
And I found this person who's related to me, and her name is the same name as my mom, but has a different last name. So I thought maybe this is my mom, and she's married, but I don't know. I didn't have all her
Yeah.
information, so I don't know who all this person is. So I have this little blurb that I sent people. It's like, hey, my name is Luis Garcia, in Spanish and in English. This is my mom's name. This is my dad's name. I was born in this year, blah blah blah, and like give a synopsis of what I'm looking for and who I'm looking for. And she writes back like I don't know, an hour later, and
Yeah.
she's like, I think her first thing is like, I'm crying right now, and she's
Wow.
like, I met her in the early 2000s, and
Oh.
I'm sorry, but she passed away. But I'm
Oh.
talking to my sister, And this is my
Whoa.
half sister, and my her name is Marta, and she is freaking awesome, man.
Oh,
And
cool.
it was so wild because for the next 24 hours, we're freaking texting back and forth to see where, she could be a cousin of mine or something, or
Yeah.
which is still awesome, but I wanna know where this is coming from and checking. And thank God, the opposite of my name, my grandparents' names are very unique. They're
Hmm.
like weird names.
Yeah.
And in both my great grandma and my great grandfather have very unique names. And as we're like double checking our
Yeah.
info, and the next day, like our grandparents come out and she tells me the name. I'm like, all right, that's it. You're my
That's
sister,
it.
man. And like
Wow.
that's my grandfather. So anyway, I'm going in March. We're going to New York City. My mother's birthday is March 9th, and we're gonna meet in New York so we can go to her gravesite and
Wow.
see my mom. But
You're gonna meet your sister and your cousins and stuff.
so that's it.
The
Well,
new ones.
what I didn't know is that her story is almost exactly the same as my story. She was also raised by somebody else, and
Wow.
she had never met my mother, our mother. So she got to meet her. That's what she said. I got to meet her early 2000s. So she got to actually see my mom with her, with her eyes and stuff. And as opposed to some other way. And but she got to meet her, and
Mhm.
she passed away shortly thereafter.
Oh,
And so she didn't know. She didn't know I lived. Oh, well, actually, she did, because my mom mentioned me. She says that you have an older brother, and I gave him up, and they changed his name. I've never seen him. Hopefully someday you'll meet him. That type of thing. Anyway, so it's just this wild thing because this is something I've been looking
yeah.
for my whole life, 50 years, man, that
Wow.
I've known my mom is out there. I'm going to find her. I never had a doubt that I wouldn't find her. Even
Yeah.
now, I always knew that that might be a thing that might happen. She might have passed away by the time I find her. And I was already okay with that a long time ago. Although it did hit me pretty hard, but I'm okay. What the coolest thing is, my sister and I like hit it like
Hmm.
immediately. She's like, "This is my sister," and we like clicked immediately. She'll call me. We'll be on the phone for an hour talking about whatever, and so she's just a really really awesome person. I can't wait to meet her. But I got another hit some time later. This is maybe like a month and a half ago. I got another hit, and it's a cousin of mine, and they're like, "Dude, we've been looking for you
Wow.
for this whole time." So my mother has a surviving sister, and she's
Wow.
still alive. She's still alive, and she
Wow.
lives in Brooklyn. And they've known about me, but they don't know. And they never moved. They lived in the neighborhood I was born in. So I'm like,
Wow.
I
That's
was
crazy.
right, because okay, so when you're Puerto Rican, if you're in New York, that doesn't mean you're going to be in New York 20 years later. A lot of
Yeah.
people just go back and forth. They'd be in New York and then end up in Puerto Rico, or they're
Yeah.
in Puerto Rico, end up in New York, like myself. So I'm like, I don't, they're probably freaking, they could be anywhere, freaking Texas or California. Nope. They never moved. They lived in that same neighborhood that whole time. And
Wow.
I've known the hospital I was born in, and they're like, yeah, yeah, we can see the hospital from here. It's like, we've never moved. If I would have just gone and walked around the neighborhood, I probably would have run into my freaking family.
They would have said, "Hey, that kid's face looks
I
familiar.
know.
It looks like your aunt." Yeah.
That looks like yeah. Theo, what's his name? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome, sir.
So
That's a
we're
great. Yeah.
so we're going to Brooklyn March 7th, I think, something like that. And um, we have a Airbnb. We're staying in the same place,
Oh,
so
cool.
we get to hang out. I'm so looking forward to it. I am so looking forward to it. I wake up thinking about it. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get to meet my sister and get to hang out with her. She's my blood.
Hmm.
She's she's super cool. Her husband sounds like a really awesome guy. I just can't wait to meet them. And and meet my family, get to see my aunt again, my own flesh and blood that I've
Yeah.
been looking for my whole life. And it closed that chapter because it's been always
Yeah.
like it dawns on me. It's always been part of me that there's this part of me that I just don't know, and that's gone. That's
Yeah,
I
it's like a
can't.
mystery. You don't know
Yeah,
what, it helps to figure out who you are, your
yeah,
identity. Yeah.
absolutely,
And that's
absolutely.
cool. Hopefully she has some music in her so you could record something.
Yeah, I don't think she does though. I don't think she does. She's super cool though. I can't wait.
Give her your
I
album for sure. Here's some CDs.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just have her talk out of tune. Super easy, super easy. Yeah, but I
So,
also have a half brother,
wow.
and he's still in New York. But I don't know if we'll get to meet him. He's got some issues, but I'm hoping to maybe I'll get to meet him. So I have her younger sister, and excuse me, an even younger brother, and I'm hoping to meet them. And but the cool thing is, like all my aunts and uncles passed away. I believe it was my mom and three or four other sisters and a brother or something.
Hmm.
Brother died a long time ago. All the sisters died except one, and this one just happens to be my mom's best friend. They were like this all growing up. And her daughters were basically raised by my mom. Like my mom was
Wow.
involved in their with their lives. So I'm like as close as I'm gonna get to be able to actually meet my mom because I know these people that knew her intimately,
Yeah.
and
They're gonna have
I'm
a
really
lot of
look, dude.
stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sent me freaking pictures of me as a 1 year old, which I don't have any because I was two when they sent me to Puerto Rico, so I don't have any.
Yeah.
I have exactly two pictures, one of myself as like a 6 months old or something, and one of myself and this probably the same time with my mom, and you can't see my mom's face.
Oh, so
It's
you
it's
were born in
blurry.
Brooklyn and
Yeah, I was
then
born in Brooklyn, New York.
went to Puerto Rico
Yeah,
and
when I
then
was
came
2,
back.
and
Wow,
then
I
came
thought you
back.
were born in Puerto Rico.
No, I
Wow,
was born in
so
Brooklyn.
oh my God, yeah, you were adopted and taken away like you were.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
wasn't.
yeah.
That's the other thing.
Well, yeah,
This
because your
funny.
family, you were adopted by
Yeah,
your family.
right. So I never. So
So
this
you
is
were
funny.
in there. You were in the mix the whole time.
Yeah,
But
dude.
just
Yeah,
figuring out
yeah.
which
Trying to
way to
figure
go.
out.
So it's like a
Yeah,
puzzle.
that's like as a teenager and stuff. I'm like, I belong in the States. I just want to go to the States.
Yeah.
I want to be an American. I want to speak English. I want to just that whole melting pot thing. And in Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, we have a fairly successful true melting pot. Every single Puerto Rican is made out of Black, Indian,
Hmm.
and Spanish. So
Right.
that's what we all have, and so it's all different, and all different families are different. So it was really cool to be able to see um, the background through my sister's side and my mom's side, which I haven't had access to, ever. But
That'd
it
be
was,
cool.
yeah, I'm really really looking forward to it.
Can I go with you and just say this is my
Yeah,
brother?
meet me over there,
Yeah.
man. Let's hang out.
My brother with the U and the THA.
That's right.
Brother.
I know. That's it. I told her, I'm like, just so you know, you have a giant family now because
Hmm.
you have sisters. Like I have four sisters who raised me, and they're all like, oh my God. Okay. They all went nuts when I told her. They were the first people after my wife and whatnot. They were the first people I told. Nobody was more excited than my sisters. And they're like, okay, we need to go
Wow.
meet our new sister because I hope she knows she has four sisters now.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, it's really, really cool.
You bringing Tommy with you too?
Now it's just my wife and I.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I thought about it. I actually asked him if he wanted to come. He could,
Yeah.
but I figured I don't probably don't want to, especially because we're gonna go meet my
Yeah.
aunts and stuff. We don't want to. Okay, here we go, and here's my 20 siblings
Yeah.
and their kids,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is how we would do it actually. If
Yeah.
a
You
Rican,
got to
that's how
ease them
you
in
would.
slow. You got to
Yeah, yeah,
showed up slow. It's kind of like you know, when people say, "Where do I start with Star Wars?" You don't want.
yeah, yeah.
Well, here's all of it.
Good
No,
luck. Here's
stumble
all of it.
one
You
movie at a
figure it
time.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, one at a time. That's what you can do. Yeah.
That's
So
cool,
yeah,
man. I'm happy to
yeah.
hear
So
that.
yeah, it's like it changed my life. And like I said, it something I've been waiting for my whole life, and it's just really, really cool, really
All
cool.
right. That's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah,
Like, look at people are commenting.
yeah.
Priceless. Great family story.
Oh,
You're struggling. Just turning it
oh,
up a
thank
little
you.
bit.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy. 50 years of wondering and
Wow.
not being able to know where I'm coming from. But um, I was very fortunate to have been raised by awesome people, which my sister always was also blessed with. She had really a good person to raise some, and my mom, who raised me, who's my great aunt, she
Yeah.
always raised me to love my mom. I never knew otherwise. I always knew I was adopted, and my mom's like, "You're not my kid. I mean, I'm your mom, but this is your biological mom, and don't ever hold
Yeah. Be
anything
mad at her.
against her. She was a child when she had you. You will love her, and someday you'll meet her, and you'll be able to talk to her. Don't have any animosity. You don't know what she went through. She did the best she could for you, and that's my job to
Yeah.
bring you up and make sure that you're happy." And I took that job, and she said, "Hey, someday you'll meet her." So that was one of the things that I just wanted to say thank you, because I would take it all. I would do it all over again. The childhood I had, it was just amazing, amazing childhood, and it's all because of my mom. The sacrifice she made to
Hmm.
give me up, um, so that I can have a better life. It was great.
Yeah. You were with people who could provide for you and said, "We'll take the baby," you know,
Yeah,
and
but
that's important. Yeah.
yeah, what's wild is that my parents never actually adopted me. They just took me because that's how this is the
Yeah.
70s. They're not gonna freaking
Yeah. That's
so
that's what families
I
did.
live
Yeah.
I live with them my whole life, and I go to Grover Cleveland in Buffalo high school. And the first day, my mom's gonna take me because I'm gonna sign up for for high school. And the principal's like, "Okay, we got all the paper. Everything looks good." And he's like, "But who are you again?" And I'm like, Petra Rodriguez." And she's like, "Okay, Petra Rodriguez." And he's like, "For your last names are different." He's like, "Oh, no, 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 because I raised him. He's my adoptive
Mhm.
son." It's like, "Oh, okay. Can I please have the adoption papers so
Papers.
that I can?" And my mom's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I have no papers. This is my
There's no.
kid. He lives in my house. I can
Yeah.
I can show you his dirty laundry. I'll bring it to you. You can check it out." And he's like, "No, anybody could just steal a kid." It never occurred to my mom that this is not
Yeah.
the way you do it. So, dude, I didn't do anything. My parents had to contact my dad. He had to give up his rights. I'm 15, of some affidavit saying I don't, I give my rights to Pedra and Jose. They're gonna raise him as their kid, blah blah blah, for the next year before he leaves and goes on his own. But
Wow.
yeah, so I didn't. Excuse me. I didn't actually. I wasn't actually adopted till for the last year that I lived with my parents.
Wow. And so the whole time your parents' last names were different than yours?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were all Garcia.
No, no.
But wow.
My mom's last name is Morales, and she's from. They lived in the east side of the island. I don't know if you look up El Yunque is
Yeah.
the biggest rainforest in the Caribbean, and my mom was raised at the foot of that forest. Like there's this
Wow.
huge mountain, and there's a Rio Grande goes under it,
Yeah.
and my mom's house was right next. Like you can jump into the river from my where my mom was raised with her 20
Wow.
brothers and sisters.
That's amazing, sir. That's
Yeah,
I love how it plays out and unfolds. Like
yeah, me
my
too.
yeah, it's cool because my older son is a genealogist. He studies family trees and he does bloodlines and all these things, and he's tracing our roots back really far.
It's
And
important, man.
because it somewhere along the line, my name was changed to Baltazar. So I'm relating a little bit. I was never adopted. You know, I got
Right.
my parents, but our name was changed like 2 generations ago. So I'm only the first generation. Well, my dad's first generation born Baltazar. So it's kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh.
So I dig it. I get it. I like all this family stuff. I'm just really intrigued by it too. And me and my friends always say that, like, our whole family's mixed. We're all Mexican and something else. So my friends call me an urban legend because you can't quite tell what race I am. You know, if you're Mexican, I'm
Tell
Mexican,
me about it.
Irish. Yeah, I'm Mexican Irish, but I have cousins who are Mexican German, Mexican Polish, Mexican English, all these different Mexican Swedish, all these different things.
Oh, dude, you got to see my
cool.
family. We go. So my mom had 20 brothers and sisters, and she is in the darker side. She had like dark black hair and a little more tan skin, but my grandma had green eyes and blonde, and her brother is black. They're like, and we're all the same family. We're like, we're all everything.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
we're
could
so
all connect
mixed.
the branches, right?
Yeah, we're all mixed. We're all mixed. And that's one thing when I did my ancestry, I am like 20% Portuguese,
Yeah.
30% Spanish, 16% native, like 5% African, and a bunch of other stuff, Scottish and Jewish and all this other stuff. It's just a big old melting pot, man. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, I'm all messed up too. I'm not 100%. I'm not 50%, 50%. It's like all my Mexican half is all mixed up with Native American and Spain, and then my Irish half is mixed with Mediterranean, Asia, and Africa. So it's like I don't even know the percentage anymore, but I started losing. Like I'm mostly Mexican Irish, but it's not. My Irish is not pure and the Mexican is not pure. So it's kind of like, it's not like salt and pepper mix it. It's like had all this other stuff.
You know what they call that now? American.
American, yeah, I'm just American. Don't speak Spanish, only speak English. And even my Mexican relatives, my wife is 100% Mexican, and everyone speaks Spanish. And they always bother me. It's like, you're Mexican, but you don't speak Spanish. And I'm like, well, everyone I know speaks English, and all the movies I watch in English, and all the comic books I read are in English. So I don't understand.
Were you raised around Spanish-speaking people?
No, we were. My people always ask me, how did you become that way? And I said, well, my dad likes redheads. So there you go. And so we were raised just south side Chicago, going to school every day, just regular. There's no ethnic culture, just us. American family, like Happy Days, you know, like the Cunninghams. But but my grandma spoke Spanish, so she's and some of my older uncles, but it was mostly my grandma.
That's awesome.
So,
man.
Yeah,
I love our since I've become an adult, maybe since I was in my late 20s, I've learned to love more my background, because I was growing up, I never paid too much attention to it, and I couldn't stand Spanish music when I was growing up. In my teen years, I was like against it. I was like so metal, and I was like one of 3 kids that listened to heavy metal. I had freaking long hair, and fuck you. Sorry, screw you, dude. And I could do my own thing, and we made fun of people that listen to Spanish music, but then I still listen to it because I grew up with it, so it's not like I didn't know it. But now, once I left Puerto Rico, I'm almost immediately after I left Puerto Rico, I'm like, oh, this is now. Anytime I listen to it, is even that much more deep, because it's like part of it's like being home. So it went from I can't it switched completely around to like I listen, and there's still to this day, dude, there's songs that I can't listen to. I'll start crying.
Yeah, Helen Reddy does that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I listened to Helen Reddy and Willie Nelson when I was a kid.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Look
Yeah,
at
you know
some.
how it is.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Alice. She's saying "Te
Yeah, that's
amo
my
tuto."
sister.
Oh, right on.
That's my
The,
little sister. So
the
that's
one you the one you searched for.
no, this is
Oh, okay.
Alice. I grew up with her. She's the youngest of four sisters that raised me.
Oh,
She's
cool, man.
she's 10 years older than me, and
Wow.
she lives in Florida, nearby to where my new sister lives. And I think my new sister might be in the chat. I don't know.
Maybe.
I
Let's see
call her
who's
my new
here, man.
sister. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to call her. My
The newest edition.
my newest my newest sister.
She's like a facsimile comic that was printed in the 60s, but now you
Yeah.
just bought it. I don't know. Look,
That
sometimes
is
family isn't by
funny.
blood, it's by choice.
Oh, absolutely.
That's true, man.
Absolutely. That's this man here. It's a part of that. He knows that. And like how I love Adam and Rand and some of
Yeah.
my best friends, some of most important people are not related to me at all.
No, and like most of my friends, I get so close to them and I call them all my brothers. And it feels like that. I got guys who I've known since for all my life and they still come to the parties and Super Bowls and and it's just a given. Like we're all gonna go. It's like
Yeah.
Christmas celebrate. I know their
Yeah.
moms and dads. It's just big extended giant party. It's cool.
Yeah.
Troy
Yeah.
says the
The
woman
woman
who
that raised
raised
you
you
is
is
very wise. You're
very
blessed. Thank
wise.
you. I think so too. You know what? It is probably the thing that makes me cry is the fact that my mom is not around to both of them. That
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of knew that I might not get a chance to meet my biological mother, but I wanted my mom to Petra, who raised me, to get to meet her or to be able to call her. I found them in
Yeah.
whatever, and they're not gonna get to meet my sister Marta. I'm not. She's never gonna meet my mom. And it's to me that's a great loss because she's literally not hyperbole. My mom, who raised me, is the best, most beautiful person I've ever met in my life, bar none.
Awesome.
I've never met anyone like my mom. She would, dude, Art, you could go
Hmm.
to my parents. They lived in Lackawanna. You go up to Lackawanna if she was still alive. You would go there and go, hey, ma'am, Tuto sent me here. He says, and I had a friend that did that every once in a while. He's like, hey, I'm supposed to pick up some comic books for Tuto. My mom's like, he's not here. You hungry? You want to
Yeah,
eat?
come on.
Oh, un poquito
Come
ajo
on,
con
you want some
gandules,
meat?
whatever.
Yeah.
And that's how my mom was. She would freaking take you and take care of you. And I love that, dude. She
Yeah.
she showered me with that love growing up, and I can't, and I
Yeah.
just want. That's when she passed away. That was probably what made me the saddest. Not that she was gone, but that you're never gonna meet her. That
Yeah. Yeah. You were
and it's
telling
your
me that.
loss, and it's your
Yeah.
loss because you're not gonna get to meet this amazing, beautiful person.
Yeah.
That was probably to me, that's what makes me sad is that the world's not going to meet her, and you
Yeah.
should, because you should know that there's people out there like her.
Yeah.
Everybody should know that there's people that love people. Doesn't matter what you go through, what you are, or what you've done. To me, to her, you're still a lovable person, and she would treat you likewise, and she would make sure you're
Right.
happy and fed and send you on your way.
Yeah. Well, those people don't broadcast that they're nice. They just do what they know, and then people feel the love they give, and then those people say, that they say how awesome they are. People
Yeah.
don't advertise how awesome they are. They're just like
No.
that. They're not out there for the glory. They just want to feed you and
Yeah. Well,
make sure you're warm.
one of the last things that I experienced with my mom that she was about to pass away. She was very sick, so all the kids went home, and this is my mom encapsulated. This is who she is. So she's on a couch with freaking oxygen on. She's dying. I think she died a month later. Um, we go visit her, and as we're sitting there in the living room, and somebody knocks on the door. So I go out and see who's knocking, ringing the doorbell. And there's this dude standing there. He looks at me and he's like confused that I'm standing there. And he's like, "Oh, Doña Petra, I got this." He just hands me this bag. It's got bread in it or whatever. I'm like, "Oh, I'll give it to her. She's resting." And he's like, "Okay, okay." And he leaves. I'm like, "Okay, that was weird." So I put the bread on the counter and go sit down. And my mom's like, "Who was that? Who was at the door?" I'm like, "Oh, some dude just dropped bread off." And she's like, "Who?" And I describe the guy to her, and my mom starts crying. And I'm like, "Why are you crying? Why are you crying?" And she realized, she's like, "This is Doña Rosa's son, and he's not well, and it just dawned on her that she's not gonna be around to take care of him."
Oh.
And it killed her, and she starts bawling, and she's like, "Promise me you'll take care of him. Promise me you take care of him." And we're like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, of course. We'll take care of him. Make sure he's okay. Don't worry, mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay." And she didn't care that she was dying. That didn't even occur to her to be worried about or be sad about it. She was sad that she wouldn't be able to take care of somebody. That's what she cared about. And
Wow.
that's who raised me.
Yeah.
Man. I
That's
was
why
very
you're awesome.
lucky. Very
That's why
lucky.
you're. Yeah. That's why you're a good man, sir.
Oh, thank you, man. I try. I am a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of what my mom was. And whatever good is in me is due to her. Any
Yeah.
kindness I have in me is that she imparted in me, for sure.
That's cool,
And
man.
she have oh yeah, Wolfie, what's going on?
That's all you, man.
Um, she had a big hand raising Tommy too, because I had broken up with Tommy's mom, so he was raised at my parents. He was either with his mom or with me. And when his mom passed away, it was me and my mom. Were the people that took care of him.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
so yeah, so he got to experience life with her. So he
Yeah.
was with me when when she was really sick. Tommy went too. That was her baby. Me and Tommy were her babies.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. My sister will tell you. She would tell anyone we're her favorites. Um, and we have she has so many kids. It's kind of unfair. I loved it because I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I was her baby, dude, and she
That's right.
freaking spoiled me in the way she could. Not with money.
Hmm.
She didn't have that, but she had other better things
Yeah.
to shower me with.
Did she like
Absolutely.
Buffalo? She like Buffalo, New York?
She loved Buffalo because
Because
it
of the
took me
winters.
away from the craziness that I was headed
Oh,
to in
yeah.
Puerto Rico. I was really wild in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
By 14, dude, I would freaking fight anybody that just
Yeah.
for looking at me the wrong way. I was very violent.
Yeah.
Um, and I just got into trouble. I would come bloody home
Yeah.
every day, freaking torn clothes. And it's like, what's
Oh,
wrong with you, man?
yeah.
And it all stopped, dude. We moved to Buffalo,
Yeah.
and I did a lot better. And it was, you know, for that
Yeah.
time, it was what was best for me, for
And you got
sure.
you see it used to all the snow? That must have
Yeah,
been different.
I loved it. I still do it. I still remember the first time I saw snow.
Yeah.
Um, it blew me away. I'm like, and it wasn't even like this Buffalo, man. It wasn't like tiny flakes or whatever. It was like
Yeah.
flakes this big, just slowly falling.
Yeah.
And I'm
Stuff
like,
falling. Yeah.
holy crap, this is amazing. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
And
I love Buffalo.
you had a crazy life, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm still here.
Yeah. What are you
Yeah.
doing now with comics?
So
You're I know you're
I'm
doing comic pops. Yeah,
Comic
man.
Pops. Yeah,
Hmm.
one of them. I know, dude. Anybody have more nicknames than I do? I'd like to know because I have so many of them, and Comic Pop's one of them.
Yeah,
So I'm doing
Tuto pops. Yeah.
Tuto, Tutti, Luisito, Tutito. They used to call me Polak in high school because I didn't
Yeah.
look Rican, so all my Rican friends call me the Polak
Yeah.
because I have lighter hair, so they called you blonde. I was
Yeah.
blonde when I was a kid, but they call me Blondie, even
Yeah.
though I had just brown hair.
Sorry,
Uh,
that's punk rock, you know.
yeah, yeah.
It's kind of
But
good. Yeah.
yeah. What was I talking about? I forgot.
Oh yeah. What's it? What are you doing with comics?
Oh,
Yeah,
comics.
because
Um,
I'm I'm aware, but not really. Yeah.
so I'm doing shows on Whatnot. I do shows, and Whatnot is an app. It's like
Yeah.
eBay meets QVC, whatever that is. That those
Yeah.
shows you see at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. You could
That's what I do.
buy and bid right on by touching your
Yeah.
screen. I
Here, buy
tried it.
this
I'm trying
right
to get
now.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really really cool. I started about a year and a half ago,
Oh cool.
and it's really active, and it's like the Wild West. We're trying to figure out. This is actually my setup.
Oh nice.
I have a camera over here pointing at this wall, and I change these around depending what books I'm selling. I,
The
you
Death of
know, represent
Superman. Is that him? Is that the
which one?
Death of
Oh, this
Superman
here.
comic?
Yeah, Death of
Yeah.
Superman, gold foil. I won that. It's like a $900 book.
Wow.
My most expensive book I ever owned,
It
and
looks
I
like a
won it.
trophy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't think I'll ever get that. This album, obviously, I love.
Yeah. OOKLA.
Um,
I have the
yeah, so
CD here. Yeah. Here's a close up of the CD.
that's if you guys don't know, this is Art's.
Yeah, it's
Um,
my work on there.
yeah, Art
Hmm.
did the.
The
It's the first
background.
appearance of OOKLA in.
And this guy right here, this is one of your
That's right,
friends. And if you look
David.
really closely, you could see his bits hanging there between.
Oh,
Yeah. He's got a little,
I
his
never
little,
knew that. Check
a
it out.
little,
Yeah,
yeah, on the
David
album, you can
Lennon.
see it better.
David Lennon. Has
Yeah.
Rand told you about Dave Lennon?
I know something about, probably not a lot, just that you took a photo of him and it's on one of your albums.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
have
really
it.
quite sure.
Dave Lennon better be happy that he's in this CD. So that was like a lyric they would all say all the time. But the coolest thing
Mhm.
that Rand should tell everyone is to make it a freaking comic book. So, okay. So they're going to Houghton, is their college, and they get, so this is what I heard. So you probably get a better version from Rand. And so they get like care packages, right?
Yeah.
From their parents. And I don't know who was first. Let's say Rand was first. Rand gets this care package, and in it, there's a package of Lemon-O's. I don't know if you remember the Lemon-O cookies.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
regular lemon cookies.
Hmm.
He hates them for whatever reason. He doesn't
Rand
like
hates him.
Rand. It's either Dave or Rand. One of the two. Whoever got it first hates him, and he didn't want them, so he like throws it on Rand's bed, or Rand throws it in the guy's bed. Doesn't matter. So the guy comes home, picks up the Lemon-O's. He's like, I hate this shit. I hate this stuff. I don't want this. So he like shoves it under Rand's pillow or something. Again, this is not how it happened. I'm just making this story how it similar to how it went. So now Rand finds the Lemon-O's inside it. Now for 4 years, they're hiding this bag of Lemon-O cookies.
The same bag?
Same bag of Lemon-O cookies.
Oh.
Dude, it was inside a computer. It was like in weird places. And as they graduated, one of them got the dean to put it inside the diploma of the other one.
Oh
And
man.
when they handed the diploma, it had the Lemon-O's inside the freaking thing. 4 years. And yeah. And I believe the computer was the last. I think it might have been Dave that got it. And then Dave freaking opened Rand's computer and shoved it inside his computer, and it resided in there for years until probably the computer broke.
Yeah.
They found, oh, this thing here probably killed it.
And then
Anyway.
one day he decided to put his naked photo on the cover
Right.
of their album. Yeah.
But that's a Lemon-O song. It's a song from the Run and Adam tape.
Oh yeah.
So if you listen
cool.
to that song, it tells you a story of where the cookies have been. So next time you listen to Lemon-O song, listen to the lyrics and that's what you're hearing. If you listen to the song, you have no idea. It's just some weird song with weird lyrics. But he's talking about this freaking package of Lemon-O cookies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like all of that. And look at D. Brad wants to know. Yes, this is true, D. Brad. Was it Rand that wrote the famous Cartoonist theme song? Yes.
That is true.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Our good friend Rand.
yeah, they're cool, man. I can't wait for the OOKLA the MOK reunion. Is it
Yeah,
gonna
me
happen,
too.
man?
I hope
You
so.
gonna join them again?
I'll join them anywhere.
Slap
Which
some
is
skin.
that's how we did WindyCon.
Yeah.
I'm always they know if they need a drummer, then I'll go anywhere.
Was that
I
the
am
last time you guys were together?
It was.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think me and you should make a song.
Let's
You
do
know?
it.
Yeah. Because I record. I just put the phone on and just record. Just say
Let's
stuff.
do it. I'm thinking of coming to Chicago
Really? You
probably
need to.
this year.
I'm gonna take it to Harold's Chicken.
All right, dude.
I'll take,
I see your post all the time. I
yeah.
have to have some.
And you got
This stuff is like now my mouth waters every time. Oh,
and
I
I'll
gotta try
take
that
you
chicken, man.
and I'll
You
take you
better be
to
good.
Skokie. I'll take you to my shop, comic shop.
Yeah, dude.
We'll
I would love
hang
it.
out there.
Yeah, I was talking to Tom and I told him we needed to make it a priority to come visit you. So we're probably gonna
Yeah, man.
come and
I
visit you.
just I love what we're doing right now, man. Every time I talk to Tommy, we're on the phone like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
And man, I know you know everything going on. You're
Yeah.
smiling, but
Yeah.
man, I'm so overwhelmed right now, and overwhelmed, but it's not bad. It's like
Good. Yeah.
a good overwhelming feeling that I get to make comics with you guys, and what Tom's doing with his subscription and with charity and whatnot and all this stuff. It's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like you were saying, we were talking about doing stuff together back when we recorded that album.
yeah,
So like, what
2016
was that?
or something.
2016, whatever.
Yeah, the album says 17.
years.
Yeah, it was, man.
This has been on the works for a bit.
Yeah,
It's just we couldn't figure out what that would be.
because Tom originally asked me if he could buy my stock, the books I had, to put in his boxes. And at that time, he only had 100 customers or 100 subscribers. Yeah. Now he's got like 3,000 or something. And then I told him, well, if you buy them from me, then I won't have any. And I remember,
then what
then what am I going to sell? And I said, and I remember saying at one point, don't know when I said it, but I know I said it, you're better off just printing them. And that stuck. That little thing, you're better off printing them on your own, and then you'll have them. And then that stuck. I think I said it that night or somewhere, but I don't. And then it just evolved, and all the puzzle pieces got moved around. It's like Rubik's cube, and like finally you got one side. Oh, it's all red, and then you move the other one. And so that's what kind of happened, and all this stuff got locked, fell into place. And so far, the first 2 months we were able to do it. And it's weird because like the last week or so, I just uploaded 3 more books to print. Really? And I even asked Tommy, I said, is this okay? Or is this too much? He went, no, keep it coming. I'm like, all right.
No, I'm so excited, dude. Again, you're right. It's like a puzzle. We knew that you are part of that puzzle. Like we always knew. It's just finding that spot where, you know what I mean? It's like there's a spot for art here. We just have to figure it out. It's our hope is not just to do something that for us. It's like it's something for us that all of us can get in and do something cool and just bring everybody up. We want Rand doing something, and we can writing a comic book with Rand or something, or whatever. Cool. Do music. I don't care what it is, man. We're gonna do something together, and that has been in the works for quite a long time, and it just evolved.
Yeah, it's still evolving. I was just gonna say it's still constantly moving, and even like for when you guys, when the books don't come out with us, I'm printing my own books just to keep books going, because I got so many books that I'm looking at the year, and I got more than 12 already, and there's only 12 months of the year. But I know we're not. I don't know how many we're going out. I got so many books that I did too many books for my schedule. Like, I wanted this book to come out in February, but now I want this one. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be real cool.
Did I ask you? I can't remember what you said about Emerald City Comic Con. Are you going to be at Emerald City?
Oh, no, I'm not planning. The next ones I'll be at C2E2 next month.
Oh,
End of
that's right.
March.
It was right before Emerald City.
Yeah. In July,
That's
I'm
right.
doing San Diego and Terrificon, like back to back, like week after weekend. So
Nice.
that's
Well,
gonna be the one's gonna hurt.
yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
come back exhausted.
Well, I'm doing Emerald City Comic Con, but I'm actually going to Vegas convention. I can't remember what it's
Oh,
called,
cool.
but it's on the April. Is the
Oh,
end
in
of April?
April.
I want to see it's like the 27th. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
27th through the 29th. I'm in Vegas, and I'm releasing my very first exclusive. Is going to be dropping at that con. So there's going to be more info
What is it?
coming
An
up.
exclusive what?
An exclusive book with
Oh, book. Okay.
yeah, sorry, exclusive comic book that's going to be dropped on at that convention.
Oh,
So
cool, man.
I'll have more details
Yeah.
coming up.
Maybe
But
I'll look into just flying there and hanging out instead of having a
that would
table.
be awesome.
Yeah.
I already talked to my friend Jeff, the Golden Age Guru, to come, and I was
Yeah.
talking to Tom to see if he'll want to come and hang out. It's my first
Yeah.
exclusive book, so I'm really looking forward to it. And it looks like it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I literally had a call right before this with the person that's helping me,
Oh, cool.
Bird City Comics. We're doing a book together, and they had one of the coolest covers of last year, and it was, I don't know if you've read 8 Billion Genies.
Yeah, I know that. Yep. We have it.
Such a good book.
Yeah.
And they did one with Mario 3 homage.
Yeah.
Killer cover. I think I bought 5 of those. Couldn't keep them. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing business with them. They're just really good people, so I'm looking forward to it.
Wow, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might just look into just flying there and hanging out, especially if if the whole crew goes, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Every time I see you guys at a convention, I'm at my table and you're walking with a group of guys all walking, and then we all do the handshakes and hugs, and then you guys all leave together.
Yeah.
That's like, we got to see each other, but like, man, I want more than that. I want to be with that group of guys walking.
Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And what should have happened. We do usually, I don't know how this year's going to be, but last year, what we would do is we have our own room, and we do shows all day. Like we go to the con till 5 or 6 or whatever. 7 o'clock, Male Geek will do a show, then somebody else will do a show. Tommy will do one like at 10.
Oh, cool.
He'll go for 2-3 hours. We're up to 1 o'clock in the morning selling books, and we all hanging around in this room. We're drinking, grabbing bottles. There's artists come in, hang out. We push their stuff, and it's just a great fun. So I'm hoping that we're able to do a similar thing at Vegas. But all I'm doing is just doing this release for this book, and it's Vegas, man. I'm gonna hopefully gamble and make a ton of money.
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah,
you'll find me at the poker table.
Yeah, say, who's that millionaire guy?
I know. Would you give me $100 for this book? I gotta go back to the poker table. Oh, come on.
The ATM's out of cash.
Yeah. Don't tell my wife.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Like Wayne says, C2E2 and Harold's. Man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah, all of it's going to be good, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait either.
I missed last year. I was supposed to, I had tickets to come to C2E2.
Yeah.
And I got COVID.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you texted me. Yeah. Yeah. And
the day before.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not even true. So my wife got it. We had gone to New York. My wife got it while she was there. So that's the weekend before C2E2. So that whole weekend she's at home with COVID. There's nobody else in the house, but I'm with her 24/7. Excuse me. So I'm like, Tom, I could come. I feel fine today. We leave tomorrow morning. However, I am basically a freaking time bomb. Imagine Saturday afternoon, I'm like, oh yeah, I got COVID. Now everyone that's been around us is screwed. And he's like, oh, you got to stay home. Come to come to realize it was good that I didn't go, because there was stuff that happened while in Chicago. There was ugliness that happened. I was glad I wasn't
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah,
They,
the drama. Yeah,
yeah, they still try to throw me under the table. I'm like, dude, I'm sick at home. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
you didn't do anything. I know Tommy told me all the drama. I'm not gonna. I
It's
don't know
just
all the facts, but
me either.
yeah,
I don't care.
I didn't
I
even know
don't.
it until like 2 months later.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
silly. It's just silly stuff.
yeah.
But
It's all
anyway,
right. We'll make our own drama.
yeah, right.
That's what I want to do.
No drama.
Yeah, I want drama for your mama. Yeah, I want to make some cool. We're gonna breaking news. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the spec is high. Yeah,
Yeah,
high spec on these things.
yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Cool, man.
Uh, I'm bummed I can't make it to C2E2, but this year is going to be tough with conventions.
Yeah.
We're moving. We're working on our house to try and sell it. We're moving back to Montana.
Whoa,
So
really?
that and meeting my family and work and all this other stuff is just craziness. Super
You're in
busy.
Portland now, right?
No, Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. Oh,
We're
okay.
north of Seattle, but
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. Emerald City Con. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Wow, that's good. You're going to be moving closer to Harrison Ford. So I think he lives in
yeah.
Montana.
Yellowstone,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ride his horses. Yeah.
They do. I watched Yellowstone, which I absolutely love. Um, and there are parts that you drive that they shoot Yellowstone on. And
Oh,
we
cool.
go to Missoula because it's the closest big city to where we live. And the ranch that they use for Yellowstone is just outside of Missoula. So my goddaughter, she was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, they have that ranch. They do all the ranch scenery at that ranch. They do all the casino scenery at this casino up the road,
Oh,
which we
cool.
drive by going into Missoula. And it was wild because last time we were there, we saw it. I had seen it, like we had just watched an episode before we went to Montana. So we drove by this spot and I'm looking at it as we're driving by. I'm like, that's that from that freaking show. It's right there. Anyway,
What's bringing you to Montana?
so we moved to Montana in
Oh,
2011, because my good friend Steve passed away,
mhm.
and we went there to spread his ashes or something. We had like a ceremony for him because he's from
Yeah.
there.
Hmm.
And during the immediate time after he passed away, his sister and brother and all of them came down and stayed at his house where we were staying. Our friend Steve that passed away died in my wife's arm. He had cancer. He
Oh, man.
was very sick. She was holding him as he passed away. So we were really close.
Yeah.
But then his family comes in and they stayed at his house for like a week. So for a week, we lived together in this house, in
Yeah.
his house, with this horrible tragedy, right?
Yeah.
Um, and we like fell in love with each other. I love these people. This is like my family. And his sister immediately, she calls me her dead brother's replacement.
Yeah.
So like, this is my new brother. He's replacing my other brother that died. That's Luis. So that's how she introduces me to people. That's him. That's my new brother,
Oh, cool.
Stacy. Love her. She's awesome. So anyway, so he passed away. We fell in love with the people. We fell in love with the town, and we wanted to go there to visit more. So we thought about renting, and because we were staying at our friend's house every few months, we would show up. So we went to Montana like 5 times in that year, and every time we would go crash at somebody's house. And we're like, okay, we want to go back, but this is getting they're probably getting sick of us. So can we do something else and stay at a hotel or rent a house? We could probably rent one for cheap. So we looked to rent a house and realized we can easily buy one for
Oh,
not a
yeah.
whole lot of money. So we ended up buying a house there. And we just thought of it as a summer house that we go hang out in.
Yeah.
And we stay there a summer. By the end of the summer, our kids are like, can we just stay here, please? So we
Yeah.
ended up moving there in
Oh, that's good.
2011. So we lived there for a couple of years. And then because of work, my wife lost her job at her work because she could telecommute.
Yeah.
Once you get a new job, they don't I mean, it's not like now a lot of the jobs, telecommuting is not that rare,
Yeah.
but back then, so if she's going to start a new job, she has to be there. So we had to come back to Seattle. So we've been living here knowing that we want to move
Oh, so
back
you
to
had a
that house.
house. You have
Yeah,
a
we still
house
have a
over
house
there.
there.
And
Oh yeah,
now opportunity to just go live in it. Yeah.
yeah,
And you could be
and
your adopted cousins, adopted brothers and sisters neighbor
correct,
now.
correct. Yeah, you get it.
That's good.
You
Yeah.
get it.
True. Yeah.
So we love it, and we can't wait. We're this close, man.
Yeah.
We have. There's actually people. We have like a dwelling that's next to our house.
Yeah.
It's like another little house. We're putting the floors in there, and then I'm gonna move in there so that we can repair the main house and sell it and get out of here.
You bring
Go
all
back
your
to my farm.
comics, all your
Yeah,
short boxes, long boxes.
yeah, all
Yeah, all your
here.
very first, your Superman trophy.
First
Yeah.
appearances.
All the
Yeah,
OOKLA stuff, your
all
drum
my
set,
OOKLA stuff.
the
Yeah,
rock out in the mountains.
yeah,
Man,
they
that
love
sounds
it
like
over there.
sounds like a dream house to me.
It is. It really is. It's a beautiful little town,
Hmm.
and I love the people. I love the ambiance of it. And we drive, and there's something that happens once we drive into town and we're coming into our house, just stuff drops. And
Yeah.
my wife, she works at a very high intensity type of job. She's
Yeah.
like, and she needs it. She'll be here and she'll be like, okay, I got to go back over there. I'm
Yeah.
going. And I'm like, oh, I have the show. So I'll meet her in 2 weeks. I'll go over there to Montana and then I'll stay 2 weeks while
Oh,
she
cool.
stays a month. And then we come back because she needs it after a while. She's like, I can't. I'm too stressed out. I want to go back to
Yeah.
Montana. So she go over there and chill. There's just a peacefulness to Montana that we love.
Yeah.
We just love the people there.
Maybe I'll
You know,
join you one day, you know?
you need to come and visit, man.
Yeah.
For
I'll
real.
just buy a house right next to you.
Absolutely. I'll start looking for you, man. I'll start looking for you. The bad thing was that during COVID, people were buying properties in Montana left and right, sight unseen. So it brought all the prices up.
became
Yeah. So
popular. Yeah.
yeah, a house like ours is probably 3-4 times more expensive than what we paid.
Well, that's
at the
good
time.
because now your house is more valuable. So it's
True.
good. Yeah.
True.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a good man, sir.
Thank you. So are you. We could do this all day, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I love talking to you, man.
I know.
And I can't wait to be able to hang out with you and spend
Yeah.
some good time together. So hopefully this year we'll make that happen.
Yeah, we'll do it, man. Me and Tommy have been talking about doing all kinds of flying back and forth, and now we
I can't
are
wait.
too. And yeah, I'll just make it happen. Just make a time
let's
and
make it
do it.
happen, Captain.
Yeah, because right now I gotta go do dad stuff. Take my daughter to the library. She got to do her homework and stuff like that. But
Cool,
yeah, man.
Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
I love that you said a lot of personal things. That's real cool. Yeah,
That's how I am.
yeah,
I can't be anything but how I am. I'm the same guy. You know that. I'm the same guy that you're gonna meet here, there, or anywhere.
Yeah.
It's
And I
the
love
only
that
way I know how to be.
people listen. People like it, you know. And yeah, I always tell them a few things. Keeps people come back. And the fun stuff is like you'll get a follow-up question like a few weeks from now, like, hey, did this ever happen? And it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's like a story unraveling. Yeah.
Anytime you want to talk, man, just reach out, man. I'd love to do this with you again.
Yeah, man. We should do an ongoing, reoccurring.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
You're
man.
a good man, sir.
All right,
And,
thank you.
And I'm gonna play.
There's an outro?
Yeah, I got outros.
Nice.
I got videos. Yeah, you're a good man, sir. And let me
Thank
see.
you.
I'll do a. See, I should have had it queued up. I should have had it queued because now I'm like all weird. How about I'm gonna play an OOKLA song for you
Oh.
that you'll probably on the drums for this one. Ready? That was
That was awesome.
that was even better than that Flash trailer. You know,
I loved it, dude. Oh my
me and
God.
Franco in a parking lot.
I was gonna say, dude, you guys were babies back then. Holy, I'm like, that looks like Franco. I'm like, it's
Yeah, it
not.
was.
Oh my God,
And
man.
it was. We filmed that in my wife worked at a bank. That was the bank parking lot, and she had access for me to
Oh my
park the
God.
van there for Wizard World. And as we're filming, the security guard came out, and he's looking around,
Just my
and I'm like,
husband.
and I knew him, like, oh hey man, and he went, Art. He goes, all right, and then he turned around and left. he didn't even
Oh,
say anything.
dude. That is
Yeah.
one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I love it.
man. Yeah, that's good. This guy is a great show, man.
Oh, no problem. Take care, Wayne.
Oh yeah, man. And thank you for sharing your stories.
Oh, no problem. No
Heck
problem.
yeah, man. Well, yeah,
No
man.
problem.
Thank you.
I got more, man. I got too many.
I know we got
I
a ton.
got too many.
Thanks, man.
I could do this all day, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
sad.
But thank you, man.
We'll
Thank
do it
you
again.
yeah, thank you. You're a good man, sir. I'm always
you.
been a
You as
fan
well.
of you, and always be your friend. You're awesome.
Always, man.
And gotta tell people, no fighting, no crying. Be nice to each other. Do the things
Be
that make
good.
you happy.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Okay,
Be good.
bye-bye.
Art. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!